In the southwestern part of China, where Yunnan and Sichuan provinces meet, there is a beautiful highland lake called Lugu Lake. Around the shores of this lake lives a very special ethnic minority group called the Mosuo people. They are known as the only remaining matriarchal society in China. Here, men do not take wives and women do not marry husbands. This is a custom they have maintained for thousands of years. Everyone, from birth until death, lives together with their mother, brothers, and sisters. Men and women are free to fall in love, but they do not need to form marriages like the outside world does. When two people fall for each other and confirm their feelings, they can come together through what is called a walking marriage. Here's how it works. The man visits the woman's home at night to stay with her and returns to his mother's home the next morning. During the day, you live and work with your own family. At night, you can visit your lover. Walking marriage is not just how the Mosuo people conduct romance. It is also how they continue their family lines.
如果我听别人说你是某某的老婆，哎呀，我觉得特别不舒服。我不是你的，他也不是我的，怎么说我是他的什么，他是我的什么？我是我，他是他。最多我会告诉他们，他是孩子的爸爸。
结婚最大的好处，想想，不知道。
If a couple in a walking marriage has a child, the child is born and raised in the woman's home. The child is raised collectively by the mother, her brothers, her sisters, and the grandmother. The child's biological father can come to visit when the baby is 1 month old, bringing blessings and gifts, but he does not need to take responsibility for raising the child. He has no legal obligations or moral burden. Because the child's uncle plays the role of a father figure to a large extent, the uncle holds a very important position in Mosuo culture. They even have a saying that goes, "In heaven there are gods, on earth there are uncles." This expresses how important uncles are in the family. Living in this extended family, every adult treats all the children the same, whether they are their sister's children or their brother's children. They care for them as if they were their own. All the children do not distinguish between each other either. They do not separate cousins from siblings. Instead, they treat everyone as the closest family, growing up together and living together.
Em giờ thôi cứ rồi mà giờ em chán thì ở đó nè giờ không có hòa thả được có thì chịu của là gì của.
Because the head of each household is a woman, women in Mosuo society hold high status. There has never been a preference for sons over daughters here. For Mosuo women, the role of a husband is not important. They have never placed much value on the concept of chastity either. Mosuo people can have many walking marriages throughout their lives. As long as two people like each other and are compatible, they are free to be together. This union is completely based on personal feelings and desires. They do not consider the other person's financial situation, past experiences, or social status. Family and friends around them do not interfere or judge. During a walking marriage, the man and woman do not live together. Sometimes the man may stay at the woman's home for a few days, as long as the woman is willing. If they separate, there is no division of property or obligations. There is no emotional or moral burden either. When there are feelings, they stay together. When the feelings are gone, they naturally separate. Under the influence of this culture, when a child is born, people's first reaction is not even to check whether the baby is a boy or a girl. 30-year-old Dashalakuo is now a mother of several children. After she gave birth, she wanted to see the gender of her baby, but her mother said, "Why do you care about that? What difference does it make whether it is a boy or a girl?" The father of Dashalakuo's children is also Mosuo, but he grew up in the city. Although the two of them got a marriage certificate, in Dashalakuo's heart she is still herself, not someone's wife. She even lost the marriage certificate. Because they do not have the concept of marriage, the Mosuo do not care about bride price at all. In other parts of China, the groom's family usually has to give a large sum of money to the bride's family as a bride price. But the Mosuo do not need this at all. Compared to the small family unit of a married couple, the Mosuo people care much more about their extended family. In fact, in their view, two people leaving the extended family to form a small family unit through marriage is actually a very difficult thing. At the same time, it also reduces a person's sense of happiness.
因为到我城市里，我看了那些老人全到敬老院啊，什么什么的，我觉得特别不舒服。他一生养了这么多的儿女，到最后自己孤孤单单的，小家庭住在那个小鸽子笼一样，我不太习惯。到城市里面都觉得很挤的那种感觉。
Living in an extended family, all the labor is shared by everyone. All the food is also shared by everyone. Therefore, each person lives a relaxed and comfortable life. However, in a small family with just a husband and wife, they must work to earn a living by themselves. They must also handle all the housework and raise the children. This kind of life is really too exhausting. Before meeting the father of her children, Dashilakuo actually dated another Chinese man who was not Mosuo. At that time, he wanted to take her to live with him in Kunming, the capital city of Yunnan province. But Dashilakuo refused directly. She said, "My family has so many people. Are you going to take the whole family with us, or just take me alone?" The boyfriend said, "Of course, just you." She said, "Then no, that will not work." Although now she has formed what the outside world considers a family with the father of her children, the Mosuo culture has given Dashilakuo a strong support system and confidence. She says she is not worried at all that the father of her children might have an affair in the future. When asked what she would do if one day the father of her children left her for another woman or broke up with her, she said, "Well, there is nothing I can do about that. Because his heart has already left me. Why would I keep him tied to my side? Anyway, I still have so many family members living together with me. The love I get from my husband is just one part of my life. It cannot compare to the love I receive in my extended family." Although this is a matriarchal society, the people here do not have ideas of female superiority or male inferiority. They do not favor daughters over sons. On the contrary, the men's level of happiness is also very high.
莫说家庭男的最幸福，很自由。这个精神负担一样都没有，男女的是没得精神负担，一个大家庭，共同生活，有困难大伙共，有享受大伙富，最好的一个家庭，没得问题。
There is an elderly woman who is 84 years old this year. Her household is the smallest in the village because her sisters never had children. Only she has 3 sons and 2 daughters. Her sisters all helped raise her children together. Because they have practiced walking marriage since ancient times, they do not even know that marriage as an institution exists. They also do not place importance on the role of a husband. The children all live with them, while the husband lives in his own mother's home. Throughout her life, she has had more than 3 men. This elderly woman met her first man at a dance. At that time, she was in the bloom of youth and experiencing her first love. After they fell for each other, they naturally came together. Later, the two kept in touch. The man would often bring rice and flour to her family. He was also very good to her family members. Unfortunately, the man later died unexpectedly in Lijiang. After that, she had several more walking marriages. With her second man, they were together for only 1 night. After that night, she became pregnant. When talking about her romantic history from her younger days, this elderly woman appears open and natural. In her view, these things are completely normal among the Mosuo people. It is precisely because of this incredibly open and free attitude toward love that in Mosuo history, there have never been tragedies like crimes of passion or lovers taking their own lives together. Although she is the head of her household, this elderly woman actually has many things to do. They follow the principle of managing the home but not controlling it. During the busy farming season, everyone works together. After the harvest, everyone enjoys the happiness together. Because everything belongs to the collective, there are almost never disputes or conflicts over interests. If any family in the village needs to build a house, everyone in the village will naturally come to help. According to the villagers, in the early 1970s, social reforms forced them to practice monogamy for a period of time. Brothers and sisters in the extended families were forced to separate and form small family units with their respective partners. This made the Mosuo people, who were accustomed to living together as one family, feel extremely uncomfortable. Conflicts within the small family units also increased dramatically, so this system was eventually abolished. Once again, they returned to the walking marriage custom. As times changed rapidly, many young people in the village began to long for the outside world. They began to leave Lugu Lake one after another. the Mosuo people also began to experience the influence and impact of modern culture. Chelakwo, who was in her early 20s, was among the first group of Mosuo people to leave. She was also the first person in the village to own a cell phone. Chelakwo has a bold and outgoing personality. Very early on, she ventured out into the world on her own. But she never forgot her roots. She never forgot the traditional Mosuo culture either. So as tourism developed in her hometown, she chose to return home and become a tour guide. Now she is specifically responsible for introducing local attractions and customs to tourists from outside. Sometimes she also hosts the bonfire gatherings in the evenings.
接下来呢，先由木素人为大家献上一首迎宾歌。不管你们从哪里来，来了就是朋友，来了就欢迎。不管你从哪里来，来了就欢迎你。所谓啊，去哪里？
But some tourists from outside who do not understand the local people often ask about their walking marriage customs with bad intentions. They even think that the women here are promiscuous. They assume that as long as they like a girl, they can go to her home and stay the night. Whenever this happens, Chelakwo angrily responds directly saying, "Are you that confident? Are you that charming? Do you think you are that handsome?" There was also one time when a businessman from outside insisted on having a walking marriage with her. After she refused, he arrogantly told her to name her price. Chelakwo immediately stood up and slapped him twice across the face. She said, "Do not think that just because you have money, you can buy everything." That does not work here. If you want to pay money for a walking marriage, then do not come to Lugu Lake. Your hometown probably has plenty of that kind of thing. As tourists arrived, Lugu Lake became more and more lively. However, Chelakwo began to miss the life from before. Before tourism developed, people here would gather together every evening to sing and dance. It was very lively. Every household kept their wooden doors open. However, now people have had to install metal doors. Even during the daytime, they have to keep them locked tight. Visiting friends at their homes has become very inconvenient. Not only that, as young people gradually left the village, Mosuo culture has also been weakening. People began to buy clothing from outside. Fewer and fewer people in the village know how to make traditional Mosuo clothing. So Chelakwo began leading local women to learn the skills of making traditional clothing together. At the same time, she also calls on tourists to protect the beautiful Lugu Lake. No matter how rapidly the outside world changes, this place will always be their home where they were born and raised. The stories of these three Mosuo women come from a documentary filmed by director Cho Washan and released in 2001. The film authentically depicts the life and customs of the Mosuo people around Lugu Lake. I believe many people have only one feeling after watching it, and that is amazement. Although the economic level of the people here is far behind the cities, their mental state and way of thinking have reached a level that is advanced and almost unbelievable. Whether men or women, they never marry for life. They fall in love and have children completely according to their own free will. There are no worries about houses, cars, money, or social relationships. They do not worry about bride prices, mother-in-law and daughter-in-law conflicts, or childcare issues. There are no concepts of third parties, chastity, or infidelity. There are no problems of property division or various moral dilemmas. Men do not depend on women. Women do not need to depend on men either. The only thing that binds them together is emotion. In many people's eyes, this place is simply a utopia in the real world.
经济开发以后，就是山批观念，这个山批经济呢一发展，但好像是金钱关系，没有从人的这个关系。现在好些就是一些说，就是说金钱的努力去了，我坚持不打金钱的努力，对吧？要人人的关系这个和睦相处，你有我，我有你。
In fact, compared to small families built on romantic relationships, family structures based on kinship and blood relations are often more stable and more likely to increase happiness. What the Mosuo people value is freedom and love. Women do not feel possessed or oppressed. Men are equally free. The concepts of male power or female power do not exist here. What they have are the most basic human rights. When gender has reached a point where it can be ignored, that is when true gender equality has been achieved. Every Mosuo woman who appears in the documentary, regardless of age or education level, radiates a sense of profound peace and confidence. As the many problems of patriarchal society gradually become apparent, and as women's consciousness gradually awakens, more and more inflammatory rhetoric trying to provoke conflict between men and women has appeared online. Amid all this intense debate, I wonder if anyone has objectively and seriously thought about what kind of system our society truly needs. Why is it that when we struggle with how to be a better woman or how to be a better man, we forget the most important question: how to be a better human being?